On the morning of June 23, 1985, the Atlantic Ocean appeared tranquil under a painterly sky, a deceptive serenity before monumental events. High above the peaceful waves, a catastrophic chapter in aviation history silently began, hidden from the tranquil world beneath. The very air itself seemed to hold its breath, unaware of the impending horror that would soon transform the skies. At 31,000 feet, Air India Flight 182 continued its journey above soft clouds, cruising majestically toward distant European shores. On board, 329 souls were immersed in dreams, believing their journey's perilous segment was safely behind them. They imagined their future was secure and uneventful, unaware of the impending darkness. Inside the spacious cabin, profound peace unfolded as families settled comfortably, lulled by the rhythmic hum of engines. Children were captivated by flickering in-flight movies, their innocent faces illuminated by the screens, adding to the serene atmosphere. Flight attendants moved gracefully, attending to passengers with smiles, ensuring comfort. No premonition hinted at impending horror. Nothing in this harmonious scene offered even the slightest premonition of the terror that was waiting. No detail in the perfect flight suggested the shocking reality. No turbulence, no alarms, no ominous sounds. In a single instant, this magnificent aircraft, carrying many lives, would utterly vanish from the sky. It would disappear without a trace, leaving an indelible scar and profound emptiness, a dark chapter in aviation history. This was not an unfortunate incident or mechanical failure, but something far more sinister and deliberate. It was an act of cold, calculated terror, a horrifying plan meticulously conceived and devastatingly executed. A planned obliteration, leaving no doubt about its intent, a chilling testament to human malevolence and vulnerability. The tragedy was not random, but a culmination of deliberate choices, an act tragically preventable with hindsight. Seeds of destruction were sown before departure, a chilling testament to failed vigilance and unheeded warnings. The preventable nature amplifies the sorrow and enduring questions that linger about accountability. Air India Flight 182, the majestic Boeing 747-237B Queen of the Skies, was named Emperor Kanishk. It symbolized national pride and technological advancement, designed for long-haul international travel, crossing continents. Built for safety, carrying dreams and connections, its ultimate fate became incongruous and heart-wrenching. Emperor Kanishk's journey began in Toronto, a bustling hub for the South Asian diaspora. The flight path included a stopover in Montreal, taking on more passengers and cargo. From Montreal, it planned a transatlantic flight to London Heathrow, then onward to Delhi and Bombay. Air India Flight 182 was a vital part of a heavily trafficked route, a critical aerial bridge. It connected Indian diaspora communities in Canada and the UK with their ancestral homeland. The route symbolized connections, a lifeline for thousands, making its disruption profoundly impactful. Flight 182's manifest painted a heartbreaking picture of lives abruptly cut short, extinguishing hopes and dreams. 268 Canadian, 27 British, and 24 Indian citizens were on board, undertaking diverse journeys. The dedicated Indian crew served with pride. Each person represented a unique story, interconnected by shared fate. The passenger demographic highlighted a deeply personal tragedy. Many were families anticipating summer holidays. Others traveled for significant life events like weddings, eager to witness cherished moments. These were mothers, fathers, grandparents, siblings, heading home or to new beginnings, a devastating loss. This devastating loss struck at the very heart of communities across 3 nations. Most heartbreakingly, 82 children were on Flight 182, young lives full of promise and excitement. Their innocent laughter and vibrant energy filled the cabin, making the horror difficult to comprehend. The loss of so many young, defenseless lives cast a dark shadow, highlighting terror's indiscriminate cruelty. To grasp the insidious forces, one must delve into the fraught political climate of the early 1980s. This period was marked by unrest and tensions, particularly within India, a bubbling cauldron of conflict. Extremist ideologies found an outlet in aviation terror, connecting distant struggles to innocent lives. At India's heart was a divisive conflict, Sikh separatist movements advocating for Khalistan in Punjab. The demand was fueled by historical grievances and desire for autonomy, creating a volatile landscape. This charged political landscape frequently erupted into protests, fragmenting society and intensifying national debate. Khalistan tensions reached an explosive breaking point in June 1984, a year before the bombing. The Indian government launched Operation Blue Star, a military action into the Golden Temple in Amritsar. This invasion desecrated the holiest Sikh shrine, igniting widespread condemnation and fury globally. Operation Blue Star caused significant casualties, igniting firestorms of outrage and profound anger globally. The desecration was an unforgivable assault on Sikh faith and heritage, creating deep, burning wounds. This fueled a desire for retribution, tragically manifesting a year later in a devastating event. Months after Blue Star, the political storm intensified. Indira Gandhi was assassinated in October 1984. This brutal act plunged India into chaos, triggering anti-Sikh riots and deepening national divisions. Her assassination served as a chilling precursor, illustrating the escalating cycle of violence before Flight 182. Amid escalating strife, extremist Sikh factions in Canada harbored radicalized sentiments, fueled by anger. These groups meticulously planned retaliation acts, aiming to strike Indian targets for an independent Khalistan. Their objective: deliver a powerful message of defiance and retribution to the Indian state, furthering their cause. Aviation quickly emerged as a focal point among potential targets for extremist elements. Air travel offered unique opportunities for widespread terror and maximum visibility for their cause. Targeting an aircraft was an ideal, horrifying strategy to make a drastic political statement globally. Air India, India's national carrier, held dual significance, a tangible, vulnerable symbol. It represented Indian sovereignty and a vital global link, immensely visible for international attention. An attack would be a loud, undeniable declaration of violent intentions, fulfilling extremist propaganda aims. Intelligence agencies weren't oblivious. Fragments of information suggested a potential impending attack. Warnings were scattered across jurisdictions, hindering cohesive understanding due to agencies operating in silos. Crucial intelligence was there, but its significance was underestimated, misunderstood, or tragically ignored. The night before Flight 182, routine baggage handling unfolded per established procedures of the era. Ground crews meticulously loaded countless suitcases, each containing aspirations of unseen travelers. These systematic procedures, reflecting the era's security mindset, were tragically inadequate for the threat. The ordinary became the extraordinary conduit of terror, unnoticed by all. In the mid-1980s, air travel security protocols were dramatically less rigorous than today's standards. Advanced technologies and strict identity checks commonplace today were simply not in place back then. A trusting, less suspicious approach was exploited, turning convenience into a fatal flaw for security. A critical deficiency was inconsistent passenger baggage reconciliation, not a mandatory procedure. This operational lapse created a perilous loophole, a critical vulnerability in the security chain. Terrorists easily exploited this, allowing an unaccompanied weapon to travel to devastating effect. This loophole in aviation security proved fatal for Flight 182, creating a conduit for a hidden weapon. It bypassed human scrutiny and technological limitations, a piece of luggage laden with deadly intent. The absence of reconciliation allowed luggage with deadly intent to enter the aircraft's hold, weaponizing travel. Hidden within an ordinary suitcase, a deadly bomb was meticulously concealed and checked in. The benign luggage was checked in at Vancouver International Airport by the plan's architect. The individual vanished, leaving a ticking device destined for an unsuspecting aircraft and its occupants. Following transfer protocols, the bomb-laden suitcase was seamlessly processed through baggage handling. It traversed mechanical labyrinths, completely undetected, without raising suspicion from Vancouver to Toronto. From Toronto, it was loaded on a Flight 182, the Emperor Kanishka's silent, deadly anomaly. It moved unchallenged toward its catastrophic rendezvous, amidst hundreds of ordinary bags. At 0:15 Greenwich Mean Time, Air India Flight 182 gracefully departed Montreal, beginning its transatlantic journey. The departure was smooth, uneventful, routine, with no alarms or unforeseen delays occurring. The vast machine climbed steadily, carrying its precious cargo toward a believed safe destination. At cruising altitude, the aircraft settled into the steady, rhythmic pace of long-haul flight across the Atlantic. For several uninterrupted hours, Flight 182 appeared perfectly routine, with crew maintaining vigil. Passengers were oblivious to the silent, deadly cargo hidden within the aircraft's hold. Throughout the crossing, communication between Flight 182 and air traffic control was normal and uninterrupted. The cockpit crew reported position, altitude, and status routinely, with no indications of anomalies. Radio silence later became deafening, but at the time, it signified a calm, orderly flight. Crucially, no distress calls were made, no mayday, no frantic plea for help transmitted. The vigilant cockpit crew had no indication anything was wrong, operating a perfectly functioning aircraft. Unaware of the deadly device, this absence of warning amplified the incomprehensibility of events. At 8:14 Greenwich Mean Time, southwest of Ireland, the meticulously timed bomb detonated in the cargo hold. The blast was sudden, violent, and catastrophic, instantly ripping through the Boeing 747 structures. It transformed a symbol of safety into an instrument of terror in less than a heartbeat over the ocean. The immense detonation tore a gaping hole, causing instantaneous, explosive decompression, devastating the aircraft. Structural integrity shattered instantly, compromising Emperor Kanishka beyond repair, a testament to vulnerabilities. In mere seconds, the Boeing 747 began to disintegrate in midair, a horrifying sequence of events. The forward section separated violently, followed by the rest of the fuselage, torn by the force. The massive aircraft, a symbol of ingenuity, reduced to scattered fragments, testament to unleashed power. Debris from Emperor Kanishka scattered across a vast, unforgiving area of the ocean surface. Pieces of fuselage, twisted metal, shattered windows, personal belongings rained down, marking the Atlantic. The aircraft fell in countless pieces, a tragic cascade of wreckage. Death was instantaneous and absolute. Air traffic controllers experienced a sudden, inexplicable loss of radar contact for Flight 182. One moment, the blip was there, a steady indicator. The next, it was gone, vanished without warning. No mayday, no emergency transmission. Only an abrupt, chilling silence filled the airwaves. Controllers suspected technical malfunction. A radar glitch or communication failure was possible. They attempted to re-establish contact, sending routine queries, but received no response. The persistent silence transformed unease into alarm as minutes ticked by, deepening the mystery. Within minutes, grim reality dawned. Sustained silence and failed attempts confirmed catastrophe. This wasn't temporary. It was an irreversible vanishing, a terrible realization of unimaginable disaster. As truth solidified, Irish search and rescue were alerted, emergency protocols springing into action. Resources mobilized swiftly. Aircraft and naval vessels were dispatched to Flight 182's last position. Crews braced for the worst. racing with desperate, fading hope for survivors across the vast ocean. First responders encountered unimaginable devastation, not merely wreckage, but human tragedy afloat. Aircraft debris mingled chillingly with personal belongings, photographs, toys, clothing on the ocean. The serene ocean was marred by this grim collection, a brutal testament to the sudden violence. The disaster's overwhelming scale traumatized rescue personnel. A monumental catastrophe spread widely. Recovery operations continued for weeks, painstaking and emotionally grueling, despite exhaustive efforts. Only a fraction of 329 victims were found, a testament to the ocean's vastness and destructive power. Families faced agonizing reality. Many would never receive physical remains to bury or mourn. The ocean claimed them entirely, offering no tangible closure, leaving only devastating confirmation. The absence of a physical body made grieving abstract and painful, denying traditional rites. Investigators meticulously began work. Evidence quickly pointed to an onboard explosion as the cause. Debris patterns, structural damage, and forensic analysis converged on an inescapable conclusion. The evidence eliminated other possibilities, revealing a deliberate, violent act, leaving no doubt. Forensic analysis confirmed explosive residue, irrefutable proof of bomb detonated inside. This was not mechanical failure or pilot error, but chillingly an act of terrorism beyond doubt. The question shifted from what happened to how was this allowed to happen. Hours earlier, at Narita Airport, Japan, another horrifying event unfolded parallel to Flight 182. A second bomb, part of the same plot, detonated prematurely in a baggage handling area. It tragically killed 2 Japanese baggage handlers, providing a grim, crucial piece for investigators. The Narita bomb was for another Air India flight. Its premature detonation provided invaluable evidence. This second explosion, linked by timing and target, confirmed meticulously coordinated attacks. It was chillingly clear these were not isolated incidents, but a broader, well-orchestrated plot. The investigation became one of Canada's most complex, protracted, and challenging inquiries. Its vast scope extended beyond national borders, requiring unprecedented international cooperation. Diverse agencies grappled with pieces of a global puzzle of terror and betrayal for decades. The investigation focused on Sikh extremist groups in Canada with Khalistan separatist ties. Intelligence agencies tracked these factions, gathering fragments of information and communications. The attack propelled these groups to the forefront, uncovering a network of radicalized individuals. Wiretaps, informants, and surveillance produced disturbing intelligence warnings before the attack. Crucial recorded conversations explicitly mentioned bombs and Air India flights as potential targets. Information was available, but not acted upon or shared, failing to connect dots and prevent catastrophe. The human element played a critical, devastating role in failing to prevent Flight 182's tragedy. Crucial human factors contributed to catastrophic oversight at multiple levels of intelligence. Errors and flaws created breaks in vigilance, allowing terror to slip through despite warnings. Pervasive intelligence failures plagued agencies. Information significance was misjudged or not prioritized. Deep-seated interagency mistrust hindered collaboration, preventing full sharing of sensitive information. Siloing of critical intelligence created a fragmented threat picture, preventing complete understanding. Bureaucratic fragmentation caused systemic paralysis, with vital warnings dismissed or lost in procedures. The threat's urgency was diluted, misfiled, or overlooked amidst paperwork, creating a dangerous disconnect. This left the traveling public vulnerable and unaware due to inaction on critical intelligence. At the airport, human factors tragically proved inadequate at physical security barriers. Personnel were insufficiently trained to identify sophisticated explosive devices or suspicious behavior. They were poorly equipped, lacking advanced tools and robust protocols for the unprecedented threat. Absence of passenger baggage matching became an exacerbated human failure, combined with lack of vigilance. Human personnel, following lax rules, allowed a bomb-laden suitcase to travel unchallenged. This oversight, from inadequate training and flawed policy, became the fatal gateway for the device. Technical factors also contributed. Explosive detection technology was primitive in the mid-1980s. Rudimentary tools lacked advanced capabilities, now commonplace, creating a technological deficit. Perpetrators exploited this, knowing detection methods were far from foolproof, gaining a significant advantage. ERA's X-ray machines had limitations in resolution and analytical capabilities, struggling to differentiate. They couldn't identify intricate components of sophisticated devices hidden within cluttered suitcases. Unlike modern scanners, older machines relied on human operators' interpretation, a tragically exposed vulnerability. Advanced chemical sniffers, now deployed for explosive vapors, were not widespread in the mid-1980s. This absence meant means to identify volatile fumes were largely unavailable to security staff. Perpetrators exploited this technological gap, ensuring their deadly cargo remained invisible to tools. The bomb was ingeniously designed, a testament to the perpetrator's dark ingenuity, not crude. Crafted to avoid detection, it utilized everyday electronic components, blending seamlessly with items. Concealed within clothing, its presence was camouflaged, indistinguishable to rudimentary X-ray machines. Years after the disaster, families faced a double burden: grief and profound frustration. Their quest for justice was a grueling marathon, riddled with obstacles and heartbreaking setbacks. They yearned for accountability that seemed perpetually out of reach, leaving them in limbo. The official investigation dragged on for decades, a testament to the justice system's failures. Crucial evidence was inexplicably lost or destroyed, compromising the integrity of the evidence chain. These losses hindered prosecution, raising profound questions about competence and diligence in the inquiry. Key recordings, including intercepted communications, were mysteriously erased or became inaccessible. This loss crippled the investigation, denying crucial direct proof and reinforcing fears of a botched inquiry. Absence of recordings left gaping holes, allowing doubts and unanswered questions to fester. Key witnesses recanted statements or disappeared, eroding credibility and creating immense challenges. This complicated efforts to piece together a coherent narrative and secure convictions in court. Shifting testimonies fueled suspicions of intimidation, further obscuring the path to justice. The case's climactic court moment yielded a profoundly disappointing and inadequate outcome. Only one suspect was convicted, on lesser charges, not for the direct bombing of Flight 182. This lack of direct convictions left an unbearable void, intensifying collective grief for families. Families enduring decades of waiting felt the trial's outcome was profoundly incomplete, almost absent. The single conviction offered little solace for 329 lives. Justice felt tenuous, leaving bitterness. True architects of terror evaded full accountability. The legal process tragically fell short. From the ashes of tragedy, profound lessons emerged, reshaping global aviation security forever. The attack was a chilling wake-up call, forcing systems worldwide to confront vulnerabilities. Flight 182's sacrifice became an unwilling catalyst, propelling the industry into unprecedented vigilance. The most immediate reform was mandatory passenger baggage reconciliation on all international flights. This critical protocol matched every checked bag with a boarded passenger, offloading if unmatched. This simple change closed the fatal loophole, fundamentally altering security forever, preventing unaccompanied bombs. Security screening standards universally tightened worldwide, beyond just baggage protocols. Rudimentary visual inspections, and limited X-ray technologies no longer sufficed for threat identification. Advanced techniques, better trained personnel, and a comprehensive approach created multiple defense layers. Intelligence sharing protocols dramatically improved, emphasizing urgent international cooperation across agencies. Fragmented intelligence showed information silos were deadly. New frameworks facilitated real-time sharing. This fostered a unified, proactive global security front against terror, enhancing vigilance. Aviation security is only as strong as its weakest link, painfully clear after Flight 182. A single point of failure could have catastrophic consequences for the entire system, highlighted by the tragedy. This drove holistic, interconnected security, leaving no vulnerability unaddressed worldwide. Flight 182 holds a grim distinction: deadliest single-aircraft aviation terrorist attack for 16 years. Its horrifying legacy of loss was only surpassed by the unspeakable events of September 11, 2001. The magnitude of its loss solidifies its place as a pivotal, often overlooked moment in terror's fight. Despite its impact, Flight 182 is often overshadowed in public memory outside Canada and India. Later attacks like 9/11 relegated it to a footnote in terrorism's larger narrative for many. Its historical significance and lessons are vital. Its memory deserves honor and understanding. Flight 182's enduring impact is deeply embedded within systems protecting travelers today. Its legacy is manifest in unseen security layers, enveloping every flight, etched in records. Every checkpoint, baggage scan, and intelligence alert carries echoes of that devastating morning. The harrowing story of Flight 182 is more than a technical account of an airplane's destruction. It's a tragic tapestry of missed warnings, human error, and the unquantifiable cost of complacency. A narrative of human system vulnerability and enduring threat when vigilance isn't absolute. Countless families waited eagerly at airports for loved ones who would never, ever arrive. Their lives were irrevocably shattered, plunged into grief, confusion, and endless search for answers. Empty chairs, unopened gifts, unspoken words, enduring scars, a testament to unexpected loss. Flight 182 stands as a stark reminder. Behind every safety regulation is a profound story. Innumerous lives lost too soon, futures extinguished, lessons learned tragically too late. A haunting testament to human fallibility and the unforgiving nature of terror, forever remembered. Emperor Kanishk vanished, yet Flight 182's profound, indelible legacy endures forever. It continues to shape aviation, serving as a perpetual, solemn reminder to the entire world. It urges all to never forget the agonizing consequences when vigilance tragically fails. On June 23, 1985, the Atlantic Ocean lay in deceptive tranquility, betraying hidden malevolence. The world was at peace. Unaware calm was about to be shattered irrevocably by an act of terror. Serenity became a cruel illusion, broken forever by unseen forces targeting unsuspecting Flight 182. Aboard Flight 182, 329 souls, a diverse tapestry of lives, made their way across the ocean. They trusted modern aviation's safety. This implicit faith was about to be devastatingly betrayed. Security protocols had a critical, fatal flaw, allowing terror to travel undetected among them. Inside the cabin, ordinary life unfolded. Families slept, children watched movies, attendants moved. This normalcy was a fragile veil, about to be violently torn apart by impending horror. The quiet engine hum masked a ticking bomb, a silent harbinger of catastrophic instant. Nothing suggested doom. In one blinding, thunderous moment, the Boeing 747 would vanish. It would leave scattered debris, an enduring legacy of tragedy, changing aviation forever. This was not chance or mechanical failure, but a meticulously planned act of cold, calculating terror. Flight 182's tragedy was not an unavoidable accident. It was a carefully orchestrated act of terror. With chilling hindsight, it was tragically preventable. Warnings surfaced, vulnerabilities existed. Failure to connect fragmented intelligence transformed potential threats into an actual catastrophe. Air India Flight 182, Emperor Kanishk, symbolized India's global reach and vital artery. Its route connected diasporas. Targeting, it was deliberate, aiming at national pride and connectivity. A symbol of progress turned into a vehicle of terror and grief, profoundly impactful. The manifest revealed a poignant cross-section of global citizens and a dedicated Indian crew. Many families, 82 children, excited for reunions, their innocence contrasting with malevolence. Each person represented a unique story, a network of loved ones, united in an unsuspecting journey. The flight's backdrop was the intense political climate of the early 1980s, grappling with separatists. Tensions escalated with Operation Blue Star in June 1984 at the Golden Temple, a controversial action. Desecration ignited widespread outrage, fueling calls for retribution, setting stage for future violence. Indira Gandhi's assassination in October 1984 inflamed the situation, triggering widespread violence. Extremist Sikh factions in Canada intensified calls for retaliation. Air India became a prime target. It offered a symbolic, high-impact way to strike back, sending a powerful message to the government. Intelligence agencies had received fragments of information suggesting a potential Air India attack. These warnings were scattered, underestimated, or ignored, creating a deadly blind spot. Failure to share and act upon intelligence allowed terror to proceed, a breakdown in global vigilance. Baggage handling proved fatally inadequate, lacking essential safeguards like reconciliation. This crucial loophole meant a checked bag traveled without its owner, a vulnerability exploited. A bomb, concealed in a suitcase, was checked in by an individual who never intended to fly. The bomb-laden suitcase transferred seamlessly through baggage systems, Vancouver to Toronto. Its seamless passage, a chilling testament to systemic failures, raised no alarms. Absence of matching allowed it to bypass scrutiny, making its way onto the aircraft, sealing its fate. At 0:15 Greenwich Mean Time, Flight 182 departed Montreal, climbing smoothly for its transatlantic crossing. Everything appeared routine. Communication was normal. No distress calls, cockpit crew unaware. This calm masked deadly cargo, a silent countdown to catastrophe, terror unfolding invisibly. At 8:14 Greenwich Mean Time, southwest of Ireland, the bomb detonated in the forward cargo hold. The explosion was sudden, immense, catastrophic, shattering the Boeing 747's integrity instantly. The aircraft broke apart midair, plummeting in pieces, leaving no survival chance, an abrupt end. Air traffic controllers lost radar contact without warning. Chilling silence replaced communication. No mayday, just abrupt disappearance. Sustained silence clarified into a terrible certainty. Irish search and rescue were alerted, dispatching aircraft and ships, bracing for inevitable horror. First responders faced horrifying scene. Floating wreckage, personal belongings scattered. Overwhelming disaster scale, a brutal testament to unseen violence. Grim recovery continued weeks. Only a fraction of victims found. Many families never received remains, only devastating confirmation. Investigators' meticulous work quickly pointed to an onboard explosion, confirmed by evidence. This was not mechanical failure, but terrorism. Questions shifted to how was this allowed? It initiated a complex criminal investigation, exposing profound security vulnerabilities globally. Parallel to Flight 182, another bomb exploded at Narita Airport, Japan, killing 2 handlers. This second, coordinated explosion confirmed a broader, meticulously planned campaign targeting Air India. The investigation became an international counterterrorism effort of unprecedented scale and complexity. The investigation, Canada's most complex, involved multiple countries and intelligence agencies. Focus turned to seek extremist groups in Canada. Warnings included recorded conversations of bombs. Crucial intelligence was not acted upon effectively, a profound failure of vigilance and coordination. Human factors were critical. Intelligence failures, mistrust, and bureaucratic fragmentation created an incomplete picture. Warnings were dismissed or lost. Airport security personnel were inadequately trained and equipped. Absence of baggage passenger matching allowed the bomb-laden suitcase to travel unchallenged. Technical factors contributed. Explosive detection technology was primitive by today's standards. X-ray machines were limited, chemical sniffers not deployed, creating technological gaps. The bomb was ingeniously designed to avoid detection, exploiting technological weaknesses with cunning. Families faced immense grief, profound frustration, and anger as the investigation dragged on. Evidence was lost, recordings erased, witnesses disappeared, hindering the pursuit of truth. Only one suspect was convicted on lesser charges. Justice felt incomplete, leaving a deep wound. From this profound tragedy emerged lessons that reshaped global aviation security irrevocably. Reconciliation became mandatory, closing a critical loophole. Security standards tightened worldwide. Intelligence sharing improved, emphasizing cooperation. Weakest link concept drove systemic reforms. Flight 182 remains the deadliest single aircraft terrorist attack until September 11, 2001. Despite its impact, it is overshadowed outside Canada and India, yet its profound legacy endures. Its legacy is deeply embedded in today's security systems, a constant, silent reminder of vigilance. The story of Flight 182 is more than a technical account. It's about missed warnings and human error. A heartbreaking narrative of families waiting for loved ones who would never arrive, lives shattered. It reminds us, behind every regulation is a story of lives lost, lessons learned too late. Emperor Kanishk vanished, but Flight 182's legacy shapes aviation, urging vigilance forever.